everybody and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am back in my bedroom because I felt like just doing a casual chatty video today. So what I wanted to talk about today was something that I'm actually really passionate about, and it's probably the biggest makeup trend that there's been over the last few years, and that is highlighters. Now there are so many on the market. I get a lot of questions about what highlighters I use and which I think are the best and all that sort of thing. So today I thought I would kind of bring together my favourites and kind of talk you through why I like them, who they'd be good for, that sort of thing. I'm going to start with probably the one I have used the most, and that is this one. This is a MAC highlighter and this is called Oh Darling. So this is what it looks like. It's just a very true gold highlight. I absolutely love this. I use this on myself and my clients, and I also like to use it as a eyeshadow. So if you ever see me and it looks like I've got an eyeshadow that's a very similar colour to my highlight, that's because I'm wearing this. But when I wear it as an eyeshadow, I do dampen it down and then pop it on my lid. The finish on this also means that when you use it, and everybody always says, or I feel like a lot of people say to always use you could spray it with Fix Plus or whatever to dampen it down and then put it on your cheek, but not all highlighters work that well with using that method, but this one does. It's got quite a fine texture. You can see it in the pan there. The texture on this is quite fine. It's not chunky or got glitter in or anything like that. So if you're wanting a highlighter that you can wet and put onto your cheeks, this would be a good one for that. Yeah, so I love this one from MAC. Another one from MAC, which is like an oldie but a goodie, and like I couldn't live without, particularly in my kit. I tend not to wear this a lot myself anymore, but it's like an absolute kit essential for me, and that is this one by MAC, and this is Soft and Gentle. So this is what Soft and Gentle looks like. It's a much more softer gold, so you can see that Soft and Gentle, when you compare it to Oh Darling, is much more soft. I know that's like its name, but it's more peachy. It's less it's gold, but it's less gold, so it's just a little bit more of like a nice everyday highlighter. And you can see I have used it to absolute death. How I like to use this is, do I give this trick away? I feel like I'm going to. I use this mainly on my clients, not so much as an actual highlighter, but once I finish doing the base, the foundation, powder, everything, I will put a powder brush into my Soft and Gentle and I will dust it all over the face, and that gives that kind of glow from within look without having a wet finish or dewy finish to the skin. When people come to me, they obviously are usually looking for makeup that's going to last really long, and to do that you need to set all your wet products with a powder product, but people say I want it to last really long but I want it to look really dewy and glowy. Unfortunately, if you use wet products or to make the skin look dewy, it's just not gonna last long. So I tend to go over the top with Soft and Gentle to give it that dewy glow, as if your face is very glowy and got wet products on, but with still having a matte finish, so it lasts really long. So I absolutely love it for that. My next highlighter that I want to show you is this one, and this is the Jeffree Star and Manny MUA collaboration that they did in the shade Eclipse. So this is what it looks like. When I look at this, I just love it so much. This has got a lot more pink in it than the other two that I've showed you, because typically I would be drawn to very champagne-y gold highlights, but what I love about this one is that it is a little bit more pink. You can see it in the camera there. It's kind of like a champagne-y colour with a bit of pink put in, so it makes it a lot more, I don't want to say natural because this shade is not natural at all, but it kind of gives you a more natural colour on the top of your cheek rather than having like a gold stripe. So I absolutely love this for pale skin tones. It also has an almost foily effect to it, which I personally love, but again, this is not a highlighter that I would personally wet the brush on and then put on, because it is quite a thick, chunky highlighter. It's not got glitter in it, it's just the texture of it isn't that fine, so I don't wet it or anything. I will just really rub my brush or rub my finger into it and then really rub it into the skin, and it just gives this gorgeous metallic finish, and I just love it so much. It's just such a beautiful colour, and oh my god, I love Manny anyway and Jeffree Star anyway, so you can't really go wrong. So when I had the idea of filming this video, I thought of this highlighter straight away, and I thought I'm gonna have to include it. So I went rummaging through my drawers because I haven't used it in a really long time, but it is one of my favourites, and that is the Becca and Jacqueline Hill collaboration highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. So this is what it looks like, and oh my god, isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. So this, in comparison to the others that you've seen, has got a much more peachy undertone to it. I think the one that you've just seen, the Jeffree Star one, that's much more pink, and the ones before that were very, very gold. Although this is gold, it's a lot more peachy, so I will tend to only really wear this if I've got quite a dark tan on. I won't wear it if I've just got my normal fair skin because it's just a little bit too dark. But again, I like to use this as an eyeshadow as well, so it all matches, and it's just a really beautiful highlighter. This next highlighter is probably the most affordable one I've got here. No, it definitely is the most affordable one I've got here, but it's the one I've used like to absolute death because it's just so good, and that is the Sleek highlighter palette in the shade Solstice. So it's this, sorry, it doesn't open all the way, it only opens there. So the shade I'm talking about is this shade here. It is incredible. This highlighter palette only cost £10, and for how good just this one shade is here, the one which is pretty much all gone, it's worth every single penny. It is the most blinding highlight I have probably ever used. Like when I'm doing a makeup look and somebody says I want like a really stark highlight, I tend to layer down maybe one of these others that I've shown you, but then I will go over the top with this and dust it right on the high points, so you get that very, very bright blinding highlight. I also like this on the inner corner and on the cupid's bow because it is so bright and light, and it's just so incredibly pretty. The other thing I will use this for is if I'm not wearing much makeup one day but I still want to look glowy and healthy, I'll use this just on my cheeks above my blusher with hardly any other makeup on, and it just makes you look so fresh and healthy, and I just absolutely love it. It has to be one of the best highlighters, and it's so crazy because it's such an affordable brand and product, but it's so good. So if any of you are thinking I'd really like to try a highlighter but I've never really used them before, I don't really know what to pick, but you don't want to spend loads of money on like something and then not use it, definitely try this. Even if you love highlighters and you've not picked this because you're kind of a high-end type of person, just try it because I think you'll be so pleasantly surprised. I think in the palette here, like this is a wet shade, I've used that sometimes to set this, but generally speaking I barely touch those three and I just use this shade here. And I know it's not there, but I know you can't see it there because I've used it all, but it's basically a light peachy pink. It's just so beautiful. I could not recommend this enough. It's so pretty. This next highlighter I've actually filmed a whole other video on, so I will link the video down below so you can go over and have a little look of like me using it and kind of what I thought as I used it. It's a little like first impressions and review, and that is the Huda Beauty, what are these called? Oh, Huda Beauty 3-dimensional highlighter palette, melted cream and powders, and this is in the shade Pink Sands. So you get them in Pink Sands and Golden Sands. I have both of them, but this is the one I tend to use the most because the Golden Sands are for slightly darker skin tones, whereas this one is for lighter. So this is what it looks like. It's basically a 4-step product, and it does describe to you on the packaging how you are supposed to use it. So like they're made for different areas of the face. So you've got 1 cream and then 3 powders. This is such a beautiful highlight. It's so beautiful. I think the best way for you to see how good it is if you just watch a little bit of the video that I'm going to link below for you, so you can see how like over the top blinding it is. It's so incredible. The thing that I really love about these palettes is that they have obviously an assortment of colours, which is what makes the 4-step process, but I love that they've got almost this blush highlight colour, so you can put a little bit of blush on and then go over the top of your blush with this, and it just looks like the most healthiest, beautiful makeup you've ever done. It's just absolutely incredible, and I am not a massive fan of cream highlights, to be honest with you. Like I don't mind adding like illuminators to my foundation or over the top of my foundation or things like that, but actual like quite thick cream products I'm not mad on for highlighters. But this is such a nice product, and when you put that down, I'll use like a little stippling brush and like put it onto the cheek and then go over the top with these guys, and it just goes boom, like it's the most blinding highlight you've ever seen, and I just love this. This I think will always be one of my favourite highlighting palettes. My favourite highlighter palette at the minute though is one that's been out for absolute ages, and I was kind of like late to the show with it because it really has been out a long time. Oh, I'll show you the front first. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in the shade Sugar, and I wear this every single day. So if any of you have seen me like over the last couple of months and thought, what highlight is she wearing? It's this, because I just can't stop using it. It's so good, and I don't know why I was so late to the boat with this, because it really is, like, I've heard so much hype about Anastasia highlighters and just never really tried them. I've no idea why. but now that I've tried this, I can't stop using it. So this is what the palette looks like. My favourite shades are these two at the bottom. So this is a more pinky shade, and then this one is more golden. And what I do is I'll like mix them together, and then I will buff them onto the face. Again, I don't wet them or anything before because they just don't need it, because they do have that foily finish to them, and they just look incredible. Because you're mixing the golden, well, when I mix it, because I'm mixing the gold and pink together, it just creates the most beautiful, natural but not natural. It's like a more natural colour, but the highlight is very blinding. So it's not going to be something that's overly gold or overly pink and looks a little bit unusual. It's going to be like that really bright, stark, slightly warm, gorgeous highlight on the tops of your cheeks, and it just looks amazing. These colours are nice as well. I actually love this shade here because I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of like gold but with a reflex of pink in it. I actually really like that as eyeshadow, and I'll put that all over my lid, and it gives like a really nice pearly, reflecty, pinky gold lid eyeshadow, and I just think that looks incredible. And then this one I really like on the inner corner because it's kind of like a white gold. I just absolutely love all four colours. It's my absolute go-to at the moment, and on my clients as well. I've been using this a lot on my clients, and it's just looked absolutely amazing. Like those clients that come in and say, I want like really dewy, glowy skin, this is the palette I tend to use. And then, as I said, with the sleek highlighter, I'll go over the top with that to get it like super duper intense. All the highlighters which I've mentioned in today's video I will link down below for you, so you can go over and have a little look and a browse and see kind of prices and that sort of thing. And I will also link below the Huda Beauty highlighter palette review, so you can go and see it in action, because I think you are going to be amazed. It is amazing. So as always, thank you so much for watching and for clicking on this video. And if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and any video suggestions at all, please do leave them in the comments and I will try and get it done for you, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.